So about a week ago, we bought a new Apple TV for the living room, and the day we got that Apple TV, we bought a subscription to HBO Max, and ever since we bought that subscription to HBO Max, I've been going through my millionth watch through of The Sopranos, my favorite show of all time. If you have never seen that show, do yourself a favor and watch it. It is fucking amazing. Anyway, I can safely say, thus far, I've been pretty satisfied with HBO Max. I've had really no huge issues with it, no grievances with it at all. Everything has been smooth, and I've been able to enjoy the shows and movies that I really like on it. But there are quite a few really dissatisfied customers, because recently HBO Max removed Gone with the Wind off of its service. Why was this removed, you may ask? Well, this is a movie from 1939, the same year my grandma was born, and as you can imagine, it doesn't have the most progressive viewpoints on race. I mean, this was released in the midst of segregation and racial tension being at an all-time high in this country, so of course, it's not the most progressive movie out there and maybe offensive to certain audiences. I can't say that with certainty, though, because I'd never seen this movie. Trust me, my curiosity is definitely piqued now. But what I can say for certainty, though, is a lot of people are pissed over this movie being released. Some people are saying this is censorship, book burning, but when you actually look into this, you would find out that this movie is only temporarily removed and will have a little introduction before the movie actually starts when it is placed back on the service. Yeah, I didn't know the Nazis burned books with the full intention of putting them back on the shelves later on, just with a disclaimer at the beginning of them. I must have missed that part in history class. Anyway, this movie will, when it comes back on HBO Max, will begin with an introduction from an African-American scholar named Jacqueline Stewart. She explains, HBO Max will bring Gone with the Wind back to its lineup, and when it appears, I will provide an introduction placing the film in its multiple historical context. For me, this is an opportunity to think about what classic films can teach us. Right now, people are turning to movies for racial re-education, and the top-selling books on Amazon are about anti-racism and racial inequality. If people are really doing their homework, we may be poised to have our most informed, honest, and productive national conversations yet about Black lives on screen and off. So all of you that are so distraught over the fact that HBO removed an 80-year-old movie that you probably didn't fucking think about prior to this happening off of its service can calm down now, because it's going to come back. Only difference being is that there will be a little introduction prior to the movie beginning explaining its historical context to viewers, and that's fucking it. After that, the movie will be the same as it was, untouched, and you can enjoy it from there. And it's an introduction that you can just easily fast forward through anyway if you really don't like it. And if that doesn't satisfy you, if you're like, oh, HBO thinks their viewers are fucking stupid, that they need this explained to them, I can't support this, then go fucking watch the movie elsewhere. It's on Amazon. People bought it on Amazon out of spite, propelling it to, like, the best-selling movie on Amazon for the week, because HBO Max removed it off its service temporarily. It's on iTunes. If you want to go this route, it's also on DVD and Blu-ray, I'm sure. Maybe you don't want to go to an actual store and buy it because, you know, considering the times we live in, that may not be practical for you, but you can order it online, have it delivered to your house, watch it like that, and I'm sure there's no little introduction or anything explaining its historical context to you, and you can enjoy the movie the way you want to enjoy it. Is it that fucking hard? Because Jesus Christ, you're acting like HBO Max is the only way to watch this movie. It's only available on HBO Max and not anywhere else, when that is fucking false. So what is the point of all this outrage when you could just easily watch the movie elsewhere? That's fucking it. Problem solved. Me personally, I'm fond of the fact that this movie will have an introduction, because maybe it'll help some viewers realize that maybe this movie isn't for them, because maybe they just heard that this movie is a classic and that alone piqued their curiosity and they know nothing else about the movie. I've done that with plenty of movies and TV shows I've watched in the past, where I hear that they're really good, I get a very bare bones synopsis of it, and I go in pretty much blind, not knowing really what to expect. And maybe some people will have that experience too, and this introduction will help them realize that this movie breaches to subjects and has portrayals that might make them feel uncomfortable, and it may teach them that maybe this movie isn't for them, or maybe they have maybe they have PTSD over an incident related to racism. You don't know. There are a myriad of different valid reasons for this introduction to exist, but no, those people are just sensitive pansies that need toughening up, right? While you sit there and whine over the fact that a streaming service temporarily removed a movie and then decry censorship and book burning and all these other stupid fucking terms that you want to pull out of your ass because you're angry that an 80-year-old movie that you probably didn't fucking care about prior to this happening was removed off of a streaming service. Again, a movie that you can watch on other on other mediums, Amazon, iTunes, DVD, Blu-ray, and I'm sure cable still shows this fucking movie on plenty of channels. But no, you choose to whine, you choose to bitch because I guess you're bored, quarantine is really getting to all of us and you need something to be outraged over. While of course, you whine about the supposed sensitive left, whining about the stupidest fucking things ever, again, while you fucking whine about this happening. But I've gone over the hypocrisy of right-wing snowflakes so many times on this channel that I'm not going to repeat myself again. Anyways, thank you HBO for causing these people to have a meltdown. I really needed something to laugh at in these depressing times we live in. But at the same time, fuck you, because this is yet another instance that shines a light on the fact that we have a lot of stupid people living in this world, and that depresses me. But what are you gonna do? That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.